You already are what you are looking for. You already are the enlightened master that you are trying to become. And I'm really not exaggerating here. I'm just pointing to something that's already true about yourself. It might seem to you like it's not the case, but actually rely on your experience of yourself, and you will see that everything you could possibly try to become by engaging in a spiritual practice, by being on a path of awakening, is already the case. I will give you an analogy here which illustrates this point I'm trying to make. So, I will draw my background from martial arts here. And when you start training a martial art, when you're an absolute beginner, everything is a total struggle, right? I mean, you're trying to become competent as a martial artist. You're trying to learn how to perform the movements in the correct way, in the most effective way possible. But it's such a struggle because you don't even know how to do the most basic of movements. You have to learn everything from complete scratch. If you keep at it, if you're really diligent, you will get better and better and better. You will rise up the ranks, so to say, until one day, depending on the martial art you're practicing, of course, but until one day you might get a black belt. Now, imagine you got this black belt after all this hard work. You have all these amazing skills. You're extremely competent as a fighter, as a martial artist. But now you have a stroke. And this stroke, unfortunately, affects your memory. But it very much affects only your episodic memory, part of your explicit memory. This means that you don't know anything about your past anymore. You have a case of retrograde amnesia. So you don't even know that you ever trained martial arts, that you are actually a black belt. If you were to get on the mat, however, if you actually got into training, got into a physical engagement with another person, you would notice that you actually are extremely good at this. You just don't know it. You forgot. And maybe in the beginning there's this kind of anxiety where when you step on the mat you think, oh, I'm totally out of place here. What am I even doing? I don't know what this is. But as soon as you allow yourself to flow, your procedural memory will kick in. The competency of the body that has been stored will become activated, so to say, and you will perform just like a black belt should. You are at this level, whether you remember that you are or you don't. It's still the case. So how does this analogy apply to our path of awakening? The radical suggestion here is that you already are this formless presence which you are trying to become. And I'm not talking to you, the person, or you, the body-mind. I'm referring to the formless presence which is taking the shape of this experience right now. This exact experience which is right here, right now. You already are this. It's not the case that there is a little bit of your being which is inside of this presence, and it's not the case that this little bit of the being eventually dissolves and becomes part of this larger presence. There's only this presence. There's only this. Now, of course, you might ask yourself, what is this presence? How can I find it? How can I discover it? Well, since you are it, you won't find it. If you could find it, it would be an object, but it's not. But if you allow yourself to relax right now, then this presence will be obvious. It only seems to be hidden because you are grasping so much, grasping to anything. But if you release this grasp and you open up to, you relax into what's already here, then there's only this. I call it presence, but what is it really? I can never grasp it, never define it, never put any kind of label or boundary on it. But nevertheless, it's totally obvious, totally present. And it is awake and flowing into exactly this experience you're having right now. This is the totality of it. It's not the case that you as a person have to struggle in order to become more mindful, more open, more acceptant, more awake, more enlightened. All these attributes are already totally present and here. I mean, this awake presence, could it be any more open? I mean, it's totally unbounded, right? Could it be any more awake? It's awakeness itself. Could it be any more accepting? It's always and already totally accepting and totally letting go, because there's only it. So it's already perfectly established. For a seemingly separate person, all we can do is explore the false beliefs we have about ourselves. Like the black belt who lost his memory, he had to step on the mat and just check whether he is a black belt. And so too, we can check these false beliefs we have about ourselves and see if they apply to what we really are, to this formless presence. And we will see that these beliefs don't hold. So we can just relax into what's already the case and enjoy it. That's all there is to it.